Kakhaber Kemoklidze is the former head of the National Security Council in Georgia, also a former head of Georgia's government administration. He joins us from Abu Dhabi. Kakhaber, welcome to the program. At the moment, what are the most effective robotic weapons that are being used in that war now?
Well, I think we are facing very interesting developments actually in Russia-Ukraine war, because this is exactly the next generation of the warfare, and the use of robotics, and especially like UGVs, what we call unmanned ground vehicles, is becoming very familiar. It is still a testing sort of like ground for both parties, I would say, from the Ukrainian side as well as Russian side. But I think in the next, let's say, months and in the next year, we will be facing more technological advancements in this regard, right on the very battlefield. And what I see so far, there are two types, let's say, two major dimensions in the robotics, in the robotics technology, in the battlefield, like offensive types and the defensive types. And the offensive types generally are used for carrying the anti-tank mines, for example, or carrying the high-caliber cannons or the machine guns. And the defensive, let's say, dimension is more about having a humanitarian dimension. When there is a need to supply or for the front line, or when there is a need of evacuation of the wounded soldiers on the ground.
But how do they compare to humans, Kakhaber? In other words, if there's not a human behind the robot's camera, can a robot decide who is an enemy and who is not? Quite often, some armies will make sure that their soldiers aren't wearing uniforms just to confuse the enemy.
Such a good question, Adnan. Well, it depends, I would say, on the AI technology installed within the robotics technology itself, which is the future exactly of this new robotics warfare. For this very moment, we mostly are facing the unmanned, let's say, ground vehicles, UGVs, which needs an operator, human, let's say, being operating behind the technology. And in this regard, of course, it won't be possible to replace human being. However, in the future, I would say like the AI is coming more and more in this technological development, and especially in the field, in the battlefield. And when the AI comes in more, then they will be capable to recognize actually uniforms, for example, recognize the insignias even, or recognize even the movement techniques of particular, let's say, ground forces, depending on the installation, depending on the application itself, what they're going to be having in.
In terms of the ethics of war, do you think all of this just makes killing so much easier? If a drone operator is on a different continent to where their drone is operating, and you're just pressing a button, they're not real people that you're killing, are they?
Oh, I would say like ethics of this new generation of warfare is such a big topic for the debate, not only for the international relations, but for generally academia, for the think tank community, for everybody, I would say. Because at the end of the day, this technology is becoming extremely efficient. And when something is becoming extremely efficient, then the other dimensions, humanitarian dimensions of these topics are always neglected. We like or not, it is becoming neglected. And this is one of the biggest challenges for many, many governments who should be considering, in my view, the ethics of this new generation of the warfare.
It's certainly a terrifying prospect. Thank you so much, Kakhaber. Take care.